As we can see together right now, live in the time, Bitcoin is currently rejecting from the last major higher term time frame level before we can get to all-time high. This weekly is very big and important indeed, and I'm going to be talking you through live in the time right now the order flow where we are seeing millions of new longs opening into the weekly level. I'll be talking you through that, whether that means that I am still bullish. I've been making it very clear indeed, right? I have been very long and chill, long and chill, long and chill, long and chill, not in any short trades. Just continuously going to sleep in no shorts, staying in all longs, expecting highs to come, long and chill, repeating day after day, long and chill. I've made my bias as clear, honest, and transparent as possible. And of course, we can see that it has paid off very nicely. But the very important question that you're going to want to know now is this a short trade to be taken? So first of all, let me explain, what this is that we're going into. I love to trade off of higher term time frame levels. So I have my weeklies, my dailies, my monthlies. I love to combine this, of course, and with all my other technical analysis tools. But this is what I'd say is my base foundation. I base all of my trades off of this lower, level of foundation of these higher term time frame levels. So for me, this is a significant level, and it is a big weekly. And so you might think, okay, Dan, you look at this. We visually see a rejection wick candle. We looked at the order flow. I've looked at the order flow myself. I'll show you right now. But we're seeing a lot of longs opening up into this level. You can see the previous candle, 26 million, now 3.3 million. You might think this is, wow, this is some trapped longs up at the very high wick, visual rejection. You could do this, right? Enter a short now, stop loss above the high, and you have yourself a short off at a weekly rejection. That is an acceptable trade, but I am not shorting here. So let me explain why I am not shorting. I am in no short trades at all, right? None at all. And I am remaining on my longs. I am expecting this weekly to be broken. And this comes down to when you see visual reactions like this, it doesn't always just mean you got a short. And this is a very good lesson for you. In the charts, okay, we have lots of levels, right? We have lots of higher term time frames, lots of naked point of control, lots of Fibonacci levels, okay? Different Elliott waves, okay, we've got going on, anchored VWAPs, lots of different tools that we can come together, and they give us lots of levels. And as a newer trader, I see this regularly. People will come in, they'll mark out every single level on the chart. They're left with hundreds of levels. Even myself, I still have, quite a lot of levels. And what it comes down to is making a strategy and understanding you shouldn't be trading every single level on your chart. You need to be aware of some of these levels. For example, the weekly, that is 100% a level you need to be aware of. But for me, it comes down to then understanding the context behind that level, okay? Reading the order flow, of course, as you come into that level, and then using the context, the confluence, and that understanding together to make an informed decision. And so my informed decision here is this is not a short trade. Right in the previous candle we just saw, over 20 million new longs opening. And what is this after? This is after, in my opinion, a little bit of, we could call it like a triangle that broke out, right? We had a bit of a triangle, constricting price action, breakout, back test, continuation to the upside. So in my opinion, we have just broke bullishly out of another constricting bit of price action in what is overall a very bullish environment, and in what my opinion is still got enough fuel, okay, to bring us up to, I'm looking for all-time highs. I've been very transparent with this. I'm really looking for all-time highs. And so, although you could have a short opportunity here, and I'm not saying that we cannot retrace, but what I'm looking at really, even if we get a retracement, would still be ending in a higher low that brings us up to all-time highs. So what I mean here is this weekly is an acceptable short if you're a very low-term time frame trader and you're looking for maybe a 1-2% drop to take profit one and then continuation. For me right now, I'm more focused on the swing trade higher term time frame. I don't think we're going to get a big enough retracement here that for me warrants locking in a short. So thus, I'm using my insights and knowledge I have on the market to remain patient now, honestly, for all-time highs. So don't forget this weekly, but for me, there are more important levels to be aware of. So let me show you, well, really simply what we got going on maybe a weekly term time frame. So this is our weekly previous all-time high. Obviously, we're around 5% away from it right now. So from current price to all-time high, you can see we're about 6-7% away. So there's still a long way to go. And I'm not expecting this to happen in 1 hour type thing. There are pullbacks, and that's why we say weekly is our acceptable levels. If you're a lower term time frame trader, in my opinion, there is an acceptable trade to be had there, right? But for me, I am focused on all-time highs. And for really, we can start to look at this as the overall range, right? So we have the overall range. We went from 69K, we went all the way down to $15,000, and we put in a lower. Now we're building our way back up to all-time highs. But really, we can view this as we view the very low-term time frame ranges, right? So everything is a range within a range within a range within a range, okay? And so just as we traded the range a few weeks ago for a week in total, shorting the highs, long in the lows, shorting the highs, long in the lows, it was very successful. It gave us 4 trades and 4 wins, that range. We can still look at this on the higher term time frame as an overall range, right? So we look at longs at the lows, shorts at the highs. I found this the other day. Look at this. This was tweeted when we were at $17,000. Okay, and it was, I've not felt this bullish in over a year. Many are going to miss out on this upcoming pump. What an amazing year 2023 is going to be for us traders. That was made at the 10th of January. Okay, that was when Bitcoin was at $17,000. Of course, we can see now over 1 year later, really how well did that age? Aged like fine wine, right? And so, this just emphasizes, right? You've got to be looking for shorts up at the highs. And you will know I shorted $69,000 on the previous rise on November 2021. Made its way down. Again, I wasn't extremely bullish at the lows, but I did manage to lock in a long from $17,000. Okay, I've got many longs from lower as we built our way up. And, you have to start to recognize the lower you come, you do have to get more bullish, and the higher you come, you do have to become more bearish. That doesn't mean short every rise and long every low on those biases. It just comes down to level of cautiousness. Okay, so that's what I mean. At this weekly we're at now, you can be cautious. I wouldn't long, okay, into the weekly level. Okay, so if we come back down here, I'm not going to advocate ever. I would not long here. For me, that is not an opportunity, not a trade. We have 3 trades. We have a long, short, or no trade. So we've hit the weekly. What is acceptable here? Is a short trade acceptable? It is, if you are very low term time frame minded right now. There's an acceptable trade. Long trade, no, I would never long here. There's been the long opportunities prior to this. You don't really long after over the past 24 hours, you're up 6%. It's just longing in massive FOMO. So that's just not even an option for me. And then the option of no trade. And that's the one I'm going for. Why? Because for me, the long is too late. I'm not interested in longing at $65,000 when I have longs from $17,000, $24,000, $30,000, $41,000. My longs are much lower. Why would I long at 65K? It's just not a plan you're ever going to see me advocating. This might work today, but then tomorrow, it doesn't work. You can never be longing after such big moves to the upside. This is FOMO and late. So my option is, of course, no trade. Why? Because I don't want to take the long. I do think that we're going to go higher, so I don't want to take the short. So I have to remain patient for higher prices to come. Okay, so this is like my trading strategy, what I do. Of course, when we're looking for these higher term time frame levels, where I'm looking for all-time highs to come, right? I've made this very clear. And I will say this very briefly before I move on. As I was saying yesterday, I'm expecting new highs to come on Bitcoin. This was my tweet. And in tonight, yesterday, so in the Champions live stream, I was covering my higher term time frame Elliott wave count of the all-time high targets I have on Bitcoin. So really, just as I predicted and traded a short at $69,000 using Elliott wave, I have now tried my best to predict the next major all-time high on live stream. So if you want to see me do a full hour in look on Elliott waves, where I have come up with my new prediction for all-time highs. I am expecting, yes, all-time highs. I have now got my prediction of where that will be. If you want to get that right now, it is available via chartchampions.com, the latest Champions live stream 247. I have done an in-depth Elliott wave count, and I have recognized, I believe we're going to all-time highs and where I think that target's coming in. This is a video, of course, just for champion members. So if you want to get that Elliott Wave stream, it is live right now for you to watch back via chartchampions.com. Of course, via Chart Champions, for the contenders right now and the champions, you can have a daily live stream update where Igor right now is going to be going over the charts in 2 minutes, going over Bitcoin. He'll cover a little bit of the stock market too, right? And he'll give you a daily plan. This happens every single day of the week, minus Saturday, where you do have a daily stream covering the markets. Of course, on top of this, we have a full educational library. You have the Discord where, posts like this are probably very helpful, right? Still in long trades, no short trades, long and chill for higher. And then today we're up another, nearly 5%. So, we've been making biases very clear. We've been very transparent and honest in what we're looking at here. So, yeah, for me, I just wanted to do this quick video. I don't want to make it last too long, but I just really wanted to do this quick video to kind of give an explanation of why I'm not shorting here, even when we do have technically a short trade setup with a reaction, how I'm able to use my understanding of order flow here and recognize you might think these are trap longs, but they're not trap longs. The 23 million opened in this candle, so they only really become trapped if we get down below really $63,000, right? So for me, this is a sign of strength. This open interest increasing, this high positive delta is strength after the breakout continuation of the triangle. So this is extremely important to understand. And people that try and view this order flow as too much black and white, these are the people that will take too many trades and end up losing trades unnecessarily. So, yeah, maybe I am no messiah, right? Maybe I am incorrect on this prediction, and maybe we do fall down from here. And that's something that I would have to accept. Hey, I was wrong on this. And I will end by saying this. I think it's been very clear, right? For the past few months, I have been very transparent, clear, and honest with my biases, with such predictions of, being very, very bullish indeed. You can go onto my profile, look through some latest tweets of mine, and since the start of the year, back from October, right, I was saying, like, I've been 2024, I've been trying to be very transparent and long and chill, no short trades. This was back in October, November, the same, December, January, February, now in March. I've just been continuously saying long and chill, really expecting higher and higher and higher to come. And so what I say here is, I have traded this pretty well. I have predicted it pretty well. I'm not trying to brag here, but I have traded it well. But what I say is there will be a point where I get it wrong, right? So maybe that point is now. Maybe I am incorrect and I do miss the short and we fall down. Maybe that is the case, right? It is a game of probabilities. So I would ask you this. Just as I have consistently made a lot of people profits over the few months of this really nice uptrend, when that time comes where I am wrong, please remember the consistency that I have had. And I just remind you that there will be a time where I am incorrect. Maybe we fall down here and this is the time for me to be incorrect. So I just hope and pray that you can remember the consistency that I've had, the profits that you really could have been, if you've been listening closely, like following along with it, making during this uptrend. And when that time does come when I'm incorrect, don't forget about the consistency that we've had, because there will be losses. I will get it wrong at some point. I've been on a nice winning streak, but it doesn't last forever. I am expecting to lose at some point. Maybe that's now, maybe it's today, maybe it's not, and we do continue to all-time highs as I'm expecting. And, I just remind you, and just remind you, this is trading. And sometimes I think people can get this thing of like, wow, Daniel just wins every trade he takes. This guy is just insane. I am on a very nice win streak. That is true, but I am not a god. I am not, able to just 100% call the market. I trade probabilities. I think I'm very good at reading the market, the probabilities, and the highest outcome of those probabilities. And, I haven't lost a major trade in a long time, right? So, but that's not to say I don't lose trades, I do, and that's not to say I don't expect to lose a trade, because I do. So I just remind you of that. We've had some very good times, but when, potentially I do go on a losing streak, just remember, the massive gains that we've seen prior to that, right? So, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. I'm going to say thank you ever so much. I'll upload this. I need to do a quick edit, so it's probably uploaded in about an hour, I suppose. And yeah, then this video will be published on YouTube. So yeah, if you want to see more from me, you know where to get it, and the rest of the Chart Champions team via chartchampions.com. This is where we got the competitions built in. This is where we got access to the best exchange deals, and of course the whole educational library. So if you want to trade with the best, you know where to be right now, chartchampions.com. I wish you a very good day ahead. I want to say thank you ever so much, everybody. And yeah, for me, that is me signing out once again with a long and chill bias, no short trades at all, and I am expecting once again higher prices to come. Thank you ever so much. Hope you've learned a little bit of why we don't trade every single level, and you know how I read the context order flow to come to this trading decision. Thank you. Hope you've enjoyed, and I'll catch you over in the Discord, champions. Thank you and goodbye.